Hi everybody, it's Julie, and this video is for our September Something Special Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge, but it is ideas that everybody can use. We're going to be combining two elements together. I'm going to be doing 12 by 12 paper ideas for pages and ephemera, and then we'll be adding in the lined paper as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have several pieces of 12 by 12 paper here. They're different weights. They're actually for different projects. I have some note paper. I have calendar. It has lines. That'll work. Index cards has lines. This is a cutoff piece. We have some children's writing paper that you write your story and do your picture up here, and I have more as well. So as we go through, I might be bringing out some other papers as well. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start using that gold paper. We'll just go ahead and get that one taken care of. So remember that we did this one and we had added to the background, and then I did add dots to the back of it so that it is ready to be used however I'm going to use it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find my 8.5 inch mark because my journal that I'm going to use this in is 8.5 inches. So I'm cutting off a 4.5 inch piece. We're going to save that for one of our other projects. Again, along with the making the things, I am trying not to have things left over. So one of my favorite things to do is what we call the flip-flop. But first of all, we need to fold this, and it needs to be under 5.5 inches. I'm going to fold it at 5 inches. So I'm going to just mark it there. So I'll have my little mark. Then I'm going to hold it with my fingernail there. Bring it over, line it up with the edge. And that way my longest page is at least underneath the page length or width that I need to have. Okay, and then I'm going to come over and I'm just going to fold this in. Now we can leave this just like this, okay? So as you're going through the journal, this could just flip out. It could just be a flip out. You keep going through and then you've got a page, okay? But here on the Dear Julie Julie channel, if you've been here for a while, you know that I tend to really decorate my journals. So to add in journaling space, one of the things that I've come up with is what we call the flip-flop. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use this piece, and because this is probably going into my challenge journal for September, and I think the children's paper will be cool because it is a golden book. So I've pulled my paper up a little bit from the bottom and measured just by going to the top and pulling it down. And how many pages do I have in here? Okay, so I have 2 pages. So I'm going to be able to show you a double flip-flop where you add in more. We're going to save that because that may show up here later. Okay, but I do have to cut this off. I'm going to just mark it because I'll just cut it with the cutter. Okay, and I just brought it inside where the binding is going to be. And we'll cut this off And we'll be able to use that, possibly. Okay, so this is our 12 by 12 idea. And remember, we're going to use the whole sheet of 12 by 12. So I have that sitting there. And then this is our lined paper idea. And so I'm going to bring this here. Okay. And I'm going to take the, you know what, we'll just do a single flip-flop. Okay, we'll just do a single flip-flop. So if I were to attach this into the flap, then this is what you get. And this is how the flip-flop got its name. But I'm not going to make this a true flip-flop. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to glue this down to the back piece rather than to the flap. But just know that if you attach it to the flap, it's going to flip and flop. And that is really cool. It gives some interaction in your journal. So I think it's fun anyway. Okay, so I've folded it in half. Then I've folded it to where I have this little lip. Now again, if I had this little lip and I was attaching it to this, you would get that flip-flop action. But I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to add my glue inside that little, we call it the gutter. We're going to add our glue inside that. Okay, so just... Sure we are. Hello, little kitty. So just in case you don't know, I have a needle or pen cushion up here, and it's a kitty cat. It's from back when I didn't get to have a kitty cat because I had a dog that played too hard with kitty cats. He loved them. He didn't dislike them, but he played too hard, so no kitties at our house at that time. Okay, so here we go. And this will open, and then we'll have all this space. The really cool thing is you only lose that little tiny bit of writing space. Okay, so that is a flip-flop, and we have done it inside some heavy-duty cardstock. Okay, and this came from a paper pad that I had from a while back. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and this one needs to be trimmed down because its branding strip is still there. So let's move it over to 12 inches. Cut the branding strip off. This We Are Family green calico linen from Simple Stories. I'm going to put that up there because I like the words We Are Family, and I like the words, well, whatever those other words. Simple Stories. Okay, so we are going to cut this at 8.5. Okay, and that's going to give me a piece that we can put over here. And so this one is the wrong one. We'll be bringing this back at the end. Oops, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, we're cutting this one. And we're cutting our birds from the bottom. Okay, from the bottom. So we are again cutting the 8.5 inch. Okay, that's going to cut the bird's head off. Let's see if a bird's head's going to get cut off this way. No. Okay. Oh yeah, but it's much better. It's like, yeah, I feel much better about where it's getting cut off. Okay, so this gives me my 8.5-inch page that we're going to use, and this we're going to put over here with that one. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and take a look at this, and I like these guys up here, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this over. Okay, so just like we did last time, except this time it's going to get glued down. It's going to be a border tuck. Okay, so similar but different. So depending on what your page looks like, and we could have decorative edged that. We'll be able to come in and decorate this with something else. Right now, for these videos, I'm just doing bases. Okay, and I think I want to make this one, so 6 to 11 is 5. Okay, so we're going to go right there. We'll give the border tuck side. That's this one. Got the big page side. Okay, and this has the little page side. Okay, so really, really simple. Same idea, but this time we've added and made it into a border tuck. I love this glue. It dries fast. It dries fast. Okay, so there's that. So now we have these two pieces. Okay, and we have so we have this piece and we have this piece. They are now double-sided. This one has that on it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one over. Okay, turn the reindeer one over. I'm going to make this be my cover, and I'm going to turn this into a little waterfall. Okay. Let's do them closer together, because yeah, so how tall does that end up being? Yeah. Okay, so I want to show you a couple things that you can do with your flaps that are left over. You can go ahead and fold these, and you can put them in your journal. So you're going along and maybe even put them together, and you flip this over and you flip this over. You can add pockets and that kind of stuff to it. You can go ahead and make like a little wallet style, the various different wallet style little journal pieces. Or you can do like we were doing, the waterfall. Okay, the little waterfall. But what I think I want to do with this, because of the size of it, I'm going to make this one. Okay. We'll do this. Yeah, here we go. So this one will be like a little pocket. Like I said, it can go in the journal, not a pocket, but a little flip that can go in the journal. I showed you the waterfall. I don't want to do a waterfall because it's going to be, because it's this direction and it's too long to go in the journal that way. And my OCD doesn't want me to put something like this in the journal, but you could, okay? You see people put things in sideways and upside down all the time. I prefer not to do that. Okay, now for this one, what do we look like over here? Okay, I'm going to pull this flap over. We have a coyote or a fox or something here that looks like Wiley. Okay, so this one we can pull over like this, and we can put like the little round closures here and here, or we can do like we did with the little plate in the video the other day, where we took the little round piece, kind of like that actually. Okay, and that will make it so that we can open this. Okay, so and this one can go in the center of the signature, and or somewhere in the journal as into a pocket. Let's see, it is 5 1/4 inches, so just barely work to do that. I'm really tempted to go ahead and put this down just like that. It will match. So let's, oh, you know what? We're not going to put it down because we didn't put staples in the stapler yet. Okay, but here again, this could be put down and be a border tuck. You could put papers in here and have it be a flip-flop. Okay, so little flip-flop. But there we have embellishment bases using our cutoff pieces. So, so I think that is good. So now we're going to take the chevron piece that we put the stencil on the other day. So this is the one with the stencil. Here is the top of that. We're going to cut 2.5 inches off the side. Okay, so I can do the math, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut my 2.5 inches off. Okay, and that makes us underneath the 11 inches, and it gives us this piece that we're going to be able to use in just a moment. Okay, so we have our decorative doily that we've done there. This needs to be 8.5 inches. So we're going to mark it at 8.5 inches. Fold it here straight and push it down. This is a lightweight scrapbook paper. I'm going to be using this in Pink October. Okay, so now we just go ahead and close off our pockets. I'm actually going to go ahead and fold it first, and then I'll close off the pockets. Okay, there we go. Okay, so our very simple flip up pocket using 12 by 12 paper. These make great pockets, you guys. This is probably the best pocket because it actually will usually hold stuff in the journal really well. Okay. There we go. It's already ready. Flip up pocket. And we've done some embellishing here with the doily. That was in the ink, dauber, brush, and sponge segment of the September Stashbuster. So we have several page ideas, and we end up with this little guy. Okay, so we are going to go ahead, and you know what? We have some cut off papers over here. Let's see. Yeah, they'll fit inside. Just random lined papers, because lined paper is one of the things that I need to do. And so if I go ahead and come up here, and I can mark that. Okay, that's where I want to fold it, and I'm going to fold that. And then we'll be able to pull this up, and this gives us a matchbook style notebook. Okay, and we can go ahead and just like we would have done the flip-flop, we'll do a flip-flop fold here. And that's just because the stapler is not been refilled. Okay, so I'll put glue on the back one. So sometimes it's like either you might not have a stapler. So this is a way of putting your papers in. So they're already all folded. We'll just go ahead and put that one down. We'll add glue to each one. But you can see that the stapler would be faster. Okay. What if, how many pages do we have here? Just the 2. What if, oh, no, we have 3. What if we go like this? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we'll put these in here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I've got this little scrappy notebook, yay, and it's going to close up like that. We've used the scrap of the 12 by 12 paper, and we've used scraps of the lined paper. So there gives you a lined paper idea, and of course in true Stashbuster, we are giving you ideas to use up the items. Okay, so we have our little notebook there. Okay, so I have an interesting one for you, and this is a page idea that I usually do in for the large books, like the one that I used for my July challenge, which was the one where I used the quilting table, coffee table book, and I used the red, white, and blue children and floral digital kit. So I have a 12 by 12, should be a square. I'm going to go ahead and flip this up, but I'm going to leave some area up there. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and come across. Okay. We are going to go ahead and fold the point over, line this line up, and line this up, and fold at the point. And no, we're not making a pirate hat. Okay, so there's that, there's that. Now, we are at 9 inches, so we're going to have to get rid of a little bit of this, so I think we'll just fold it over. Okay, rather than waste that. Okay, we'll just fold that over. Let's see where we're at. Are we, yeah. Now we're at 8 inches, so that's better. Okay, so what we've got, pocket, we've got a pocket. Now, we need to stay within our 5 inches, 5.5 inches. I'm going to come over here to 5 inches and come in to a little bit. Okay, so there's my 5-inch mark. I'm going to come in a little bit, and I'm going to fold this back. Okay, and fold it up. You see what's happening here? Then I'm going to go and do the same thing on this side. And I can go in a little further if I want to too. Okay. So this gives us another way of folding a 12 by 12 paper, creative folding, and we now have a little tuck space here. Okay, and that'll flip over. You can go ahead and close this off as also if you want to. But you have a tuck spot there. You have a pocket here, a pocket here, nice size pocket. You have a tuck space here. Now you can go ahead and close this off. Okay, you can, we'll do that on this side, okay? You can close one side. You can close both sides if you want to. I'm going to close just the bottom. Okay, line that up, across there. This works really, I mean, if you have double-sided paper, but you can see that there's not very much that shows. So if the white bothers you, you can either go ahead and do something, you know, with it like we've been doing, or you can add paper to cover that up. So you're going to have a spot here, and now you've got a pocket here as well. Okay, so just some creative folding. You got a flip on one side, and you have this on the other side. Okay, how cool is that? How cool is that? Okay, so that gave us another page idea. Now we are going to okay, so that one I cut it at, what did I cut this at? 2.5 inches? No, what did I? It's 1, 2. It's 3.5 inches. I just don't want to waste that paper, but I think I wasted that paper. That's okay. I'll be able to do something with it. Okay, so we're going to pull out another one of these. And we need to take the branding strip off so that we are 12 by 12. Okay, and this one we are going to use my little template thing here and my template idea, and I'm going to cut this into pieces, and we're going to be able to make embellishments out of our 12 by 12 paper. And again, this is the thin paper. So we want to cut this in this direction at 6 inches. Okay, I'm just reading my little cheat sheet here. Okay, 6 inches. And then we are going to cut these at 6.5 and 5. Okay, so I want this. I want the pink side. Well, I guess they both have pink on this. Yeah, they both have pink. Okay, so 6.5, and so we'll have a 6.5 inch, and we'll have a 5.5 inch, and we'll have a 6.5 inch. Well, make sure we're even here, and a 5.5 inch. Okay, so with these, we are going to go ahead and we're going to fold these in half. And these were cut to this size because of the lined paper that I have left from a different project. Okay. So I'm thinking these green ones can go into my challenge journal, and the ones that have more pink on them, they can go into the other journal. Okay. So then what we're going to do is these 5.5 ones, the 5.5 inch ones, are going to get cut, or you can go ahead and rip them. But these are going to be tags. So this 12 by 12 is going to give us 2 notebooks and 4 tags. Okay, and so I come over to where my notebook pieces are. And they are, oh my gosh, they were probably made for 6-inch. I probably could have just cut this in 6-inch pieces. Okay. So I can go ahead and can flip this up. Have a little tiny pocket. Nothing gets wasted. Okay, and then we will bind this in. You can go ahead and sew it with the sewing machine, or bind it with your thread, whichever you want. I'll sew it with the sewing machine. Okay, so we just sewed it up. We have added some lined paper inside this little notebook, and I think probably to make this fit better as a pocket, I can come in and add some other scrap in here, come in and to make it bigger. This is from the Ice Coupon digital kit, and there is a This Book issued, which I think is kind of fun. Okay, so we could have a big pocket here, and then have still have a little pocket down here. So, but we're making bases is what we're making in this video. So there, you've got that. I can do the same thing with this one. And that would be for my challenge journal. Now, obviously, we're going to want to add something to the back of these. And remember, we did have... well, heck, really super easy. We have some index card. That's one of the pink ones. I think that would be perfect. And it's okay that we fold this back over itself. So, okay. And for paper to paper, I can go ahead and use the glue stick. Okay. So those extra pieces, and you could of course use any color, but these actually fit on here perfect. Onto an index card. I told you in the index card video that they are one of my favorite things to use because they're already pre-measured. They're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so then we can just pull this piece over, and it'll have a nice little edge on there, and you have a really nice journaling card just like that. Okay, and it's pink. It's pink for Pink October. So I would probably go ahead. So out of that, you can get 2 notebooks, 2 little notebooks, and 4 of the tags. I think I'm going to put all 3 of these green ones in with this. We'll add its paper in here so that I remember to do that, and these can go in my Pink October stuff. So from 1 12 by 12 thinner scrapbook paper, there you go. Okay, we have another one, and this one we need it cut in at 6 inches. What is this cut at? 3.5. Okay, I think we'll be okay. We're gonna pretend like that was cut at 3. We're gonna cut this one at 6. It's okay to have a variety, right? Okay, so we're going to cut this one at 6. So we'll have a 2.5 and a 3.5 and a 6. And then this one is going to be cut at 4 inches. So 3 4x6s is what we're going to have, right? Yeah. So 4, 4, and we have this one. So these here are going to go like that, and then these ones we can cut this into a tuck space, okay? And so a diagonal tuck. So I'm lining this 4x6 card up on the cut line, and that will give me 2 tuck spaces. And luckily for this one, we will have, they can go either way, okay? So, but sometimes they're like directional, and you'll end up with a top tuck and a bottom tuck, which I think is perfect. So 2 tucks and 2 tags. And then from down here, we're gonna cut these at 7, and so there'll be a 7-inch tag and a 5-inch tag. I think this one we'll go ahead and make it 2 6-inch tags because it's only 2.5 inches. Okay, so that gives us those 2 tags, and then this one we'll cut in at 7. That'll give us a tall tag and a short tag. Okay, so I will put in the file section of the Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie Facebook group, I will put a drawing of how I cut those to be able to get, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are tags. This one can be a pocket. Okay, so you'll have 2 tucks, a pocket, and 5 tags, cutting it this way. And there are a variety of sizes. So I like this size here because when you have a Dear Julie Julie digital and you have the small tags, a small tag will fit easily right on there. If it's too long, just flip this side up and give it a little pocket on one side or the other. Or give it the pocket and put the tag in it. So that's the one thing about using Dear Julie Julie digitals is you've got all the things. So a pocket, 2 tucks, 2 skinny tags, and a tall tag, and 2 larger like journaling cards. Okay. So now the other thing is of course you can go ahead and line the backs of these also with the thinner paper that we had here. If you have cardstock that has lines on it, I just happen to have some cardstock here with some lines on it. You can go ahead and use that to help give stability to your page. So I'm going to cut these off. I'm cutting these and saving them because one of our things is the like using strips. But we'll be doing that sometime in the next week. Okay, so today we have combined two of our elements that we needed to use. Our 12 by 12 paper and our lined papers. So using lined papers and making things into books, using lined papers, index cards, calendars, ledger paper to back things for journaling space. Note papers. Did I already say that? Okay. And of course, trying to use up all of our scraps. And just using the things that we have in our stash. Are you, you know, that was part of the challenging part of the challenge, was use things that are in your stash. And to share when you use something that you haven't used for a while, whether it be a tool or, you know, anything. Anything that you use that you haven't used for a while. We want to hear about it. Okay. So I can just put this up to the edge, and if I need to cut it, it's okay. And you saw there was some pink, but we put index card on the pink one, so we're good. Should we go ahead and flip that over? Why not? Because it doesn't want to stick. Okay, so using even a 6 by 6 pad, or if you had a 12 by 12 pad that has some lined papers, go ahead, use them up. Okay. Oh, that's what I did. You saw that too, didn't you? Were you yelling at me? You're like, Julie, you're putting those two papers together, and that would be just fine, but that's not what I wanted. And this gives me a blooper. No wonder. I was like going, wow, that's really something that I thought it wasn't going to fit, and then it fit. Well, it's because I was putting two of the colored papers together. Does anybody else out there mess up on video as much as, well, I don't want to even say as much as I do. Does anybody else mess up? So, okay, well, our timing is perfect here because it's time to go watch today's premiere. And so there we go. I'm going to pull this over so I don't end up with any scraps, because that's, I hardly have, you know, I put my little scraps up there and I hardly have any right now because I've been using them. Okay, so these are ready for one of my projects. Remember, I have to use one of these page ideas and one of these embellishments and then embellish it more for my challenge journal. And I'm going to have to do something with that. And we'll fix this. But let's see if we go But we made a lot of stuff today. I am pretty excited. So what was your favorite? Make sure that you come back and put it in the real comments after the chat is over. Hint, hint. And so, yeah, so we'll add this in. And that'll give me a notebook. And so far I have 2 journaling cards from that for the green. Plus I have the one that I messed up, but I'll do something with that. And then I have this one and this card. Okay, so all that came from one 12 by 12. All that came from a 12 by 12. I can go ahead, ink it up, and have it sitting here and just waiting. Like if I wanted to use this for the fall collab, I can have this all ready and just waiting for the right pieces to come to go with that. Okay, so that was one 12 by 12. This is the other 12 by 12. Then we have this 12 by 12 special folded paper giving you pockets, lots of pockets. We have the cutoff piece, and it gives you this little matchbook notebook. Look at all these wonderful pieces I have for my, it's for my snarky journal, actually, Snarky Women journal. So there, we used that in the Ink and Dauber video. So this was the fold-up pocket, and this was the cutoff. We made that out of the cutoff. And then this was our flip-flop and our border tuck. And then we made these 2 pieces out of their cutoffs. Okay. So 1, 2, these can be pages or journaling or embellishments. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4 page ideas using 12 by 12 paper. And then several of the embellishments. Using our lined paper, we have our flip-flop, our little notebook, this little notebook, then backing with an index card, which is lined paper, and another notebook, and then lined paper backing here. So several ideas. And then, of course, you can use lined paper from a book. So I have like lined paper from a composition book. You go ahead, take out all of the seam, the stitches, and then you will have side-by-side pages that you can use in your journal. So that is, you see me do this all the time. I do it with journals. I've done it here. I have some little books that I've taken and undone the stitching. So that gives me a blank page, a lined page, and this one is graph paper using these little, these were from Joann's, and I got them on clearance. So it was a really good deal. Okay, lined paper and 12 by 12 paper. I cannot wait to see what you do with your lined paper and your 12 by 12 paper. Make sure that when you finish it, you post it in the category in the special group that was made for the September challenge. The details for the challenge are in the description box down below. It is not too late. We've had several people make this journal in 2 days, and somebody even made it in 1 day. All of the pieces. They're not having to make, they have to make 1 page and 1 embellishment using 12 by 12 paper. And 1 page and 1 embellishment where the main part is lined paper. And then all of the other categories. Here I've made several. Find something to celebrate every day. Check out the mushroom digital kit in the Etsy shop. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.